کہ یہاں کے جو سٹاف ممبرس ہیں جن کو ماسٹرز ٹرینرز نے ٹریننگ دی ہے اور وہ آذربائیجان میں ٹریننگ لے کے آئے ہیں، تو خوش اخلاقی اور احترام اور خدمت یہ آپ کا انتہائی اہم کیریکٹر کا حصہ ہونا چاہیے. اور مجھے امید ہے کہ آپ کی خدمات اور آپ کے مسکراتے ہوئے چہروں سے یہاں پر آنے والے جو پاکستانی بزرگ بھائی بہن اور نوجوان آئیں گے وہ آپ کو دل سے دعا دیں گے. ابھی مزید اس کی ایکسپینشن ہونی ہے. اس کے لیے فی الفور میں نے یہاں پر آج چیمہ صاحب کو، جنہوں نے اس سینٹر کے قیام کے لیے بے پناہ کاوشیں کی ہیں، اور سی ڈی اے اور دوسرے ملکہ اداروں نے اپنی بڑی محنت کی ہے، مگر میں یہاں پر یہ ضرور کہوں گا کہ دیر آئے درست آئے. یہ پچھلے سال کے اوائل کی بات ہے جب میں نے باکو وزٹ کیا تھا اور اس ادارے کی انتہائی شاندار خدمات میں نے دیکھی اور وہ بہت متاثر کن تھی. اور آتے ہی میں نے یہاں پر ہدایت دی. اللہ تعالیٰ کا شکر ادا کرنا چاہیے کہ یہ بالآخر ادارہ قائم ہوا، لیکن there's a lesson to be learned. اگر عوام کی خدمت کرنی ہے تو اس کے لیے ہمہ وقت تیار ہونا ہوگا، اس کے بغیر کامیابی ناممکن ہے. میں یہ بھی کہنا چاہتا ہوں کہ اب نہ صرف یہاں پر ہم نے ایکسپینشن کرنی ہے بلکہ فی الفور مظفر آباد میں ایک اسی طرح کا شاندار سینٹر قائم کرنا ہے جو کہ حکومت پاکستان کی طرف سے آزاد کشمیر کی حکومت، اور پھر گلگت بلتستان میں ہم نے گلگت میں بھی ایسا سینٹر قائم کرنا ہے. اور یہ ہم تحفتاً ان دونوں حکومتوں کو دیں گے تاکہ آزاد کشمیر کے بھائی بہن اور گلگت بلتستان کے عوام اس سے فیض یاب ہوں. اور پھر بعد میں ہم مزید سینٹرز کھولنے کا فیصلہ کریں گے. میں ان الفاظ کے ساتھ آپ سب کا شکریہ ادا کرتا ہوں، اور یہاں کی مینجمنٹ کو میں دل کی اتھاہ گہرائیوں سے مبارکباد بھی دوں گا، شکریہ بھی ادا کروں گا، اور گزارش کروں گا آپ کی بیہیویئر سے جو لوگ آئیں، کسٹمرز آئیں، ان کو اور اس سے رغبت بڑھے اور پھر مزید لوگ آئیں، تاکہ یہ ادارہ جس کام کے لیے بنایا گیا ہے، یہ سرمایہ جس کام کے لیے خرچ ہوا ہے، اس سے عوام بھرپور طور پر فیض یاب ہوں. اور آپ کی جو مسکراہٹ، آپ کی خدمت، آپ کی الرٹنس سے آپ کو دین اور دنیا دونوں کمائیں گے. With these words, I'd like to thank all of you once again, and thank you very much for your visit, for your support, for your commitment. Long live Pakistan, Azerbaijan friendship. Thank you very much.
Radio and TV channel Asan under the President of Azerbaijan Republic inside our assembly. One quick question.
It's a great day that we are all gathered here to, inaugurate this great facility for the people of Islamabad, particularly and generally people of Pakistan. And this facility couldn't have been established without great support from my very dear brother, President Ilham Aliyev. What happened was that I was on official visit to our brotherly country last year, and we visited Asan Khidmat Center in Baku. It was absolutely phenomenal, very impressive. So I requested that I'd like to have a similar center here in Islamabad as a first step, and then expand it. Chairman Spasi is here along with his delegation, and they have been extremely supportive, and this cooperation is unprecedented under the instructions of my very dear brother, President Ilham Aliyev. Thank him once again from the core of my heart providing this very generous gift, and it has now come into operation today, and we will expand it, inshallah, this center, and establish new centers elsewhere in Pakistan.
Thank you very much.
इस्लामाबाद में वज़ीर आज़म शहबाज शरीफ पाकिस्तान आस्थान खिदमत मरकज़ की इफ्तिताही तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे। वज़ीर आला सिंध मुराद अली शाह इस वक्त तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे हैं, बराह रास्त लिए चलेंगे आप।
Yusuf Raza Gilani, respected Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our international development and humanitarian partners, business and media personalities, and I'm especially grateful to all the chambers who've come. Actually, all the chambers in Pakistan are represented here. People have come from all parts of the country, and the entire world is represented here with the Diplomatic Corps being here. My colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor for me to welcome you at the President House, where we reflect the journey of Sindh over the last 17 years, a journey of service, reform, and transformation under the Pakistan People's Party. Since 2008, the people of Sindh have repeatedly placed their trust in the Pakistan People's Party through successive general elections. In fact, each successive election, the Pakistan People's Party has got more popular vote and more seat in the assemblies from Sindh. This continued mandate is not an accident. It's a result of a consistent political philosophy, a philosophy rooted in the vision of Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto. This philosophy is to serve the people, to empower the disadvantaged, and to place human development at the center of governance. Under the leadership of President Asif Ali Zardari and Chairman Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, this vision has guided the government of Sindh in shaping policies focused on education, healthcare, infrastructure, social protection, climate resilience, and inclusive economic growth. Our approach has remained people-centric, democratic, and reform-oriented. This sustained development effort is also the reason why the people of Sindh have continued to renew their confidence in the Pakistan People's Party. Electoral success has followed performance, and performance has followed principle, the principle of selflessly serving the people. Today's presentation documents this transformation, from health institutions to major investments in education, agriculture, irrigation, housing, energy, and building of infrastructure. It is a comprehensive account of what consistent governance and political continuity achieve. And there is no better person to present this story than Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari himself, who over this period has not only guided the government of Sindh politically, but also has provided strategic direction, policy, vision, and international advocacy for Sindh and Pakistan. Chairman Bilawal has carried forward the legacy of democratic leadership with modern thinking, focusing on youth, climate action, technology, and institutional reform, ensuring that Sindh's development is aligned with the challenges of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to invite Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, to present the transformation story of Sindh, a story of resilience, reform, and results. Please put your hand together to welcome Chairman Pakistan People's Party, Mr. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari.
Yeah, please. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everybody to the presidency and thank you so much for joining us today. Basito, I am used to speaking to large audiences, but I don't know why today's audience seems slightly more intimidating. It could be because we are here in the House of the Federation, the Presidency of Pakistan. Obviously, it's also the audience that sits before me. We have the might of Pakistani media, the cream of Pakistan's business community from all across the country, and of course, the diplomatic corps. I welcome you all. I thank you all for joining me. And I look forward to taking this opportunity to talk to you about the province of Sindh. It is my belief that we are a province that is often presented as a glass half empty in Islamabad. And through this presentation today, at the very least, I'd like to establish that we're very much a glass half full. There's a lot more potential for us to unlock, hopefully, together. The Pakistan People's Party government in Sindh started in 2008, and as the Chief Minister mentioned, every subsequent election, the people of Sindh have entrusted the Pakistan People's Party with a larger mandate than before. The Pakistan People's Party's philosophy has historically been rooted in roti, kapra, makan. Food, clothing, and shelter. The idea behind this philosophy, I'm not ready yet, the idea behind this philosophy is fundamentally to address the issue of affordability. In a country such as Pakistan, where we have unemployment, poverty, but increasing income inequality, the Pakistan People's Party's approach to every sector across our government has been trying to invest in our institutions in such a way to allow our people the opportunity to afford the basic fundamentals in life. We inherited a government in 2008 that faced a multitude of challenges. We had the issue of terrorism and law and order. I'm sure our media friends and all of those here who've witnessed firsthand how when the Pakistan People's Party's government took over in 2008, obviously all over Pakistan, but also in the province of Sindh, we faced terrorist attacks on at least a daily basis, and in some cases, at least a weekly basis, in some cases, a daily basis. We faced religious extremism like the rest of the country did, but particular to Sindh, we faced ethnic tensions and frictions that would often result in violence. Our law and order challenges weren't confined to the city of Karachi alone, but across the province. We faced, even in the northern parts of Sindh, in Larkana, my hometown, when before the Pakistan People's Party's government took over, we used to observe the anniversary of Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto every year in April. And our party used to have to go in convoys in order to provide our people the necessary protection in order to reach from across the province and across the country to Larkana. Similarly, whether it's our health infrastructure, our education infrastructure, I could go on about the challenges that we face. But after the Pakistan People's Party's intervention, we're proud of what we've achieved, whether it's law and order, whether it's education, whether it's public-private partnership. And I'd like to take this opportunity today not only on dwelling on our accomplishments, where we've come from, what we've achieved, and hopefully a little bit of where we'd like to go. I'm going to start with our healthcare sector. The Pakistan People's Party's approach has been that we believe that healthcare should be a fundamental right. That if the people of Pakistan, or if any citizen, cannot afford treatment, it should not mean that this is a death sentence. And we have invested over the course of 3 governments in setting up free of cost medical facilities and health infrastructure all across the province. And not only are our facilities that I'll just go on to talk about free of cost for all our citizens, but also of international standards. I'm going to start by talking about Karachi's JPMC. Actually, before that, I'm going to tell you that we've invested over the 3 governments, and we brought up our health budget from 2.9% of the Sindh's budget to 10% of our budget. As far as Karachi's JPMC is concerned, it is our sort of the cornerstone of Sindh's health system. It's our biggest hospital in Karachi, and it was handed over to us after the 18th Amendment from the federal government. Along with other institutions across the province, the healthcare sector had suffered from neglect, from a lack of development, a lack of investment for more than a decade from when we came into office. And when we inherited the JPMC, our infrastructure was dilapidated. We had a capacity of 1,100 beds. And over the course of the Pakistan People's Party's government, we've now transformed this hospital in partnership with the people of Sindh, with the people of Karachi, with the philanthropists of Karachi, and as a result of heavy investment by the Sindh government into the country, one of the country's leading hospitals. We've added a 550-bed surgical complex and OPD, 120-bedded psychiatric ward and OPD, 110-bedded neurology ward, and OPD, top-of-the-line equipment. For example, we have the CyberKnife technology for the treatment of cancer at JPMC. This facility, again, in partnership with charitable organizations, the Patients' AIDS Foundation, we've not only made it possible for this top-of-the-line cancer treatment to be available in Karachi, but we're also the only facility in the planet to offer this expensive treatment completely free of cost. We've taken the JPMC bed strength from 2012, it was 1,100 beds, to now 2,208 beds. So we've doubled our capacity so far. If I just talk about JPMC's CyberKnife and cancer treatment facility, we've served patients from 178 cities and 24 countries. And our CyberKnife facility and other tomotherapy and equinox sessions and all of this component, we've served 250,000 patients. It says here, now I don't know whether that's daily or monthly because it's missing in my presentation, but this is one of our most expensive treatments that we afford to our citizens, absolutely free. And I just wanted to highlight that while 46% of our patients, so less than 50% of our patients who receive this treatment are from the province of Sindh, 31% of patients who receive this treatment are from Punjab, 11% of the patients who receive this treatment are from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 7% of the patients who receive this treatment completely free of cost in the province of Sindh are from Balochistan, and 5% are international patients. that come to Karachi's hospital. So the JPMC that we inherited with 1,100 beds in 2012, we added our 200 bed, in 2020, we added our 500 bed surgical complex. In 2020, we also added our food complex, which feeds 500 people daily completely free of cost. In 2024, we added our psychiatry and neurology department of 120 beds. And as I mentioned, our bed capacity from 2024 went from, in 2024 went from 1,100 to 2,200 beds. Going forward, from now until 2028, we plan to add a new 12-storied, 600-bedded, fully equipped medical tower with MICU, CCU, cath labs, endoscopy, a new 6-storied officers' ward with 60 fully equipped private rooms, a new 10-storied fully equipped accident and emergency and trauma complex, along with other facilities. So by 2026, our employees' medical block with 60 beds. Again, 2026, our medical complex by 50 beds. Our emergency tower, that I mentioned, 722 beds. And our vision is that by 2028, we want to take our bed capacity just for JPMC alone to 3,200 beds, which will almost triple our capacity. We are already the largest hospital in Pakistan as it stands today, and by 2028, this one JPMC will be 3,200 beds. Alongside JPMC, within the same compound in Karachi, we also inherited the NICVD, which is Pakistan's cardiology hospital. We've managed to transform the NICVD as Pakistan's the largest free of cost cardiology network in the region. That includes the specific NICVD Karachi hospital that's right next to JPMC and is part of the same complex, but also 11 hospitals for free of cost heart care across the province. That includes our this building that we've redone, the NICVD by JPMC, NICVD Liari, NICVD Larkana, NICVD Sakhar, which is the building you see in the background, NICVD Hyderabad, NICVD Khairpur, NICVD Mithi, NICVD Tandu Muhammad Khan, NICVD Nawab Shah, and NICVD Baldia. These are all state-of-the-art, 100% free of cost, full-fledged cardiology hospitals that we've set up across the province. Along with these 11 hospitals, we've also set up 30 chest pain units in each of the 10 districts of Karachi and across the entire province. The thought behind this is that in cardiology, sort of the golden rule is if you've had a heart attack, if you can get to hospital within 90 minutes, you save a person's life. And we've managed to establish such a system across the province that not only provides this facility to our citizens, it provides it on their doorstep and completely free of cost. As far as the patients treated by NICVD is concerned, again, this is just the province of in this hospital. I'm not talking about our overall NICVD infrastructure, the 11 hospitals, etc., that's all connected. I'm talking about the one NICVD that we have in the JPMC complex in Karachi. We serve 2.9 million patients free of cost just in 1 year. And in 2025, 2.8 million patients were from the province of Sindh. 45,000 patients were from the province of Punjab. From Pakhtunkhwa, we had nearly 10,000 patients. From Balochistan, we had more than 100,000 patients. From Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Kashmir, we had almost 4,000 patients. So not only are we providing this service to the people of our own province, but also the people all across the country. Again, along with NICVT, within the same complex, we inherited JPMC, we inherited NICVT and NICH, which is the Institute of Child and Neonatal Therapy, and we've taken up, we've increased the bed strength of this hospital as well. We've opened up the Sindh Institute of Child Health and Neonatology across the province, which include 8 SICH units. But I want to specifically, before I go on to SIUT, talk about, so the JPMC, the JPMC complex alone, not the NICVT satellite hospitals, not the additional SICH hospitals that we've set up across the province, just that one compound where we inherited these 3 buildings. These 3 buildings together, when we received them from the federal government, we had a bed strength of 1,799. We've invested in these hospitals, turned them around, made them 100% free of cost, and as of 2025, we've increased our bed strength of these 3 hospital buildings alone to 3,453 beds. That's already the largest hospital in Pakistan. In 2028, our plan is to take the bed strength of these 3 hospitals alone to 5,170 beds. Now, to put that into context, the largest hospital in the United States has 2,850 beds. The largest hospital in the United Kingdom has 1,800 beds. And our aim is that we want to increase our P2 bed strength ratio in Sindh overall, and particularly in Karachi, and this is the case, the strongest case of where we've done that. So what we've achieved with JPMC is as a result of a lot of Sindh's government's own investment, but also as a result of the humanitarian effort of the people of Sindh, particularly the people of Karachi who've invested in this hospital. NICVT is completely sort of public hospital. It's not as a result of our partnership with other sectors. But the transformation in Sindh's healthcare is not just a result of our own drastic increase in spending. It is also as a result of our ability to partner with those already doing good work in Sindh. And one of the best cases for this, or best examples for this, is our partnership with SIUT, the Sindh Institute of Urology and Transplantation. Dr. Adib Rizvi is probably the closest thing that comes to a living saint in Pakistan for the work that he does with the Sindh Institute of Urology and with the SIUT. In 2008, their capacity was 760 beds, and we've managed to partner with them and then bring up their strength to 1,926 beds. We've conducted more than 7,700 free of cost kidney transplants. I just with them inaugurated the newest and biggest hospital, what used to be the Regent's Hotel in Karachi, to provide free of cost treatments, not to the people of Karachi. We've partnered with them to expand their network, not only within our capital city, but all across the province. And where they used to be known specifically for urology, nephrology, and transplant, now they offer an entire ecosystem of healthcare facilities to the people of Sindh, again, 100% free of cost. We have our SIUT in Civil Hospital, in Diwan Farooq Centers, SIUT Oncology Center, SIUT Transplant Center, this Sharif Faisal one that I just mentioned that we opened, Drig Road, Nazmabad, Garden West, Karangi, these are all in just in the city of Karachi alone, providing free of cost treatment. Then in Shaheed Benazirabad, in Sakhar City, by Sakhar Bypass, Larkana also has the dialysis, and Shikarpur, we've been able to establish these free of cost hospitals in partnership with SIUT and Dr. Adib Rizvi, and the Sindh government is proud that we are, as of today, their largest partners. While SIUT and JPMC and NICBD were initially concentrated in Karachi, and we expanded their outreach across the province of Sindh, I also want to talk to you today about a tehsil in Khairpur, in northern Sindh, called Gambal, where we've been able to introduce international standards, free of cost, not only a hospital in practice, the entire medical city, to one of the most deprived areas of our province. In 2012, we conducted our first cardiac surgery in Gambit. In 2015, we added the Department of Orthopedic Surgery and established our first kidney transplant was performed. In 2016, it was our first liver transplant was performed at Gambit Institute, 100% free of cost. Before this, if you wanted to have this liver treatment within Pakistan, it was only possible either here in Islamabad, or people used to have to go abroad. People used to also have to go to India. So we're very proud of the progress that we've made. We were the first province to establish this facility, do it 100% free in 2016, and provide liver transplants to the people of Sindh. Then 2017, we established the Gambit Medical College was established. In 2018, our cornea transplantation was started in Gambit, Khairpur. In 2019, we established our Rapid Response Center and our Gambit Heart Center and our ICU. In 2021, we established our Center for Hematology, Bone Marrow Transplant, 100% free of cost, and our Laser Therapy Center, our Department of Oncology and Department of Neurology. In 2022, we established Nuclear Medicine, Cancer Care and Research Center in Gambit, Khairpur. In 2023, we conducted we inaugurated our lung cancer and transplant facility in Gambit, Khairpur. By 2024, we crossed our 1,000 liver transplant, 100% free of cost. Liver transplants were done, and we crossed 100 bone marrow transplants successfully performed in Gambit, 100% free of cost. And going forward, our timeline for 2025 includes all of this, which I'm not going to read out to you, but there's a lot. And the Gambit Institute of Medical Sciences now is the only institute in Pakistan providing services in 5 human organ transplant services: liver, kidney, cornea, bone marrow, all 100% free of cost. And once again, I just want to point you towards our patients. We conducted 1,362 free of cost liver transplants. Less than 50% of our patients were from the province of Sindh. 47% of our patients are from the province of Sindh. Second largest share of our patients are actually from the province of Punjab. 34% of our patients from Punjab, 15% from Balochistan, 4% from Pakhtunkhwa, and less from Azad Kashmir, even Islamabad. And we even have cases of people coming from Afghanistan to receive treatment at Khairpur in Ganga. Our Shaheed Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto Trauma Center in Karachi is South Asia's largest level 1 trauma care center. And just in 2025, this facility has treated more than 175,000 people. We've expanded this facility to also include my Larkana ICU and HTU and emergency facility within our hospitals in Larkana, and we plan going forward to add 3 more centers in Sakhar, Malir, and Baldia, which will be functional this year. As far as Sindh's primary healthcare facilities are concerned, that's for our PPHI model, which has 93% rural coverage and 1,440 facilities managed across 30 districts. Our integrated emergency care services. Now, this means your services. Before the Pakistan People's Party government in 2008, there was no integrated emergency service in Sindh, and now we have integrated emergency service facility with the stats before you, how many patients and how many calls we receive on our hotline. The biggest sort of public interaction at any hospital is with your emergency services. That has the highest interaction for our public. And if you want to improve the public's experience with any hospital, you want to focus on improving their approach or their access to emergency services. We prioritized within that children's emergency services. And we've partnered with the Child Life Foundation across the province of Sindh in order to provide international standards, free of cost, emergency care to the children of Sindh. And we've established 10 emergency rooms across the province in partnership with the Child Life Foundation and 105 telemedical centers at secondary care hospitals. This is, again, as a result of our public-private partnership. Our mortality rate at the Child Life Foundation emergency care rooms that we're partnered with is at 1.2% and is at par with the best private hospitals in Pakistan. As a result of all these interventions, whether it's NICVD, whether it's SICH, whether it's our Child Life Foundation, there are many, like Indus Hospital sitting before us, that Dr. Bari, I haven't even mentioned in my presentation. As a result of these interventions, we're providing international standards, free of cost care to the people of our province. And we've seen quantitative results. Our infant mortality rate in Sindh has declined by 26%, from 74 in 2013 to 54.65 in 2024. Our media friends here will remember how much we were criticized on this topic, particularly in the context of Tharparkar. And I'm proud to share with you today that Sindh's infant mortality rate after these interventions by the Pakistan People's Party government today stands at 2.9%. That's lower than our national average of 5.4%. The second topic I'd like to discuss with you today is our education infrastructure. We face a whole host of challenges within the province of Sindh, education being amongst one of our priorities. Obviously, without access to education, our people have no hopes of prospering, economic progress, of getting jobs. And we're proud to say that we've prioritized not only our higher education, but also our primary facilities. In 1947, there was one university in the province of Sindh. 50 years, by 2008, there were 10 universities in the province of Sindh, and of those 10 universities, there were 2 additional campuses. When you establish a campus, it increases the outreach of that university. Say there's a university in Karachi, and I can establish a campus in Badin or somewhere else. It gives, still need one in Badin, but it gives access to rural areas. So by 2008, there were 10 universities in the province of Sindh and 2 campuses, mostly established in the 1970s, subsequently in the 1990s. By 2025, we now have 30 universities, 30 public universities in the province of Sindh established by the Pakistan People's Party government. And in addition to these 30 universities, we now have 18 instead of those 2 campuses. That further extends the reach of these universities into our rural and more far-flung areas of the province. As far as our primary education is concerned, I want to particularly talk about the challenges we faced as a result of subsequent consistent flooding. In 2010 and 12, we had our education infrastructure ravaged by the historical floods that we faced then. And in the 2022 floods alone, we had 7,503 schools that were completely damaged. We had schools standing there and they no longer stand today. And then we had 12,305 schools that were partially damaged. Together, that's 50% of Sindh's education infrastructure gone in a flood. And that obviously has challenges. It takes decades, as you can see, to set up the infrastructure, and these natural calamities that we've seen on devastating scales to undo that progress overnight. That has consequences. It has consequences for children going to school, for your literacy rates. But the Sindh government has partnered with the federal government, with international financial institutions. Of those completely damaged schools, so far we've managed to reconstruct 5,243 schools with this breakdown from the GOS, international financial institutions, and the government of Pakistan supporting us in this work. Some of the post-flood schools rehabilitation there. We have a whole host of other interventions. I've thought I'd try to narrow them down. Teacher recruitment used to be a serious issue. We partnered with private institutions, international institutions, to ensure that we have transparent, merit-based appointments within our teachers recruitment initiative, and we managed to recruit more than 100,000 teachers through this merit-based process. We have public-private partnerships that have outsourced we've partnered with NGOs, with the private sectors to run educational institutions, public schools in Sindh. This has drastically increased the service delivery. I'd particularly like to mention Mr. Shehzad Roy, that's sitting in the corner over there, and his Citizen Foundation for the partnerships that we've done. We've improved our student-to-teacher ratio in Sindh. We had a student-to-teacher ratio of 50 students to 1 teacher when the Pakistan People's Party government took over. We've now managed to bring that down to 35 students to 1 teacher. We still have a long way to go. We've built 129 new colleges. We have scholarships programs, international scholarships programs, the most recent of which is the Bilawal Bhutto scholarship, and also with the Sindh education, we have scholarship programs that seem to have been eaten up my data, or I just can't see it. trust me. We have not only international scholarship programs, but also local scholarship programs. There we are, 4,000 scholarships annually just through the Sindh Education Foundation alone. What we're particularly proud of is not only our tertiary care, our university, our primary school education, but particularly our special education facilities for differently able Pakistanis. Sindh was the first province to pass legislation for the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities. We were the first province to set up an autism center, 100% free of cost, I think it was 2018, in Karachi. And we've managed to take that number now across the province to 10 autism centers where we provide 100% free of cost special education facilities for the differently abled in Sindh, and we've introduced a 5% employment quota. As you're all well aware, Pakistan faces demographic challenges. One of the most urbanizing provinces is the province of Sindh, with the highest rate of increase in population. Of the challenges that we face, and this is in the province of Sindh. The city of Karachi is Pakistan's only megacity that is a serious issue with population, partly as a result of population welfare, but largely as a result of migration. But we're also proud of the fact that Sindh is the first government and the first province that legislated on family planning. We've been working at this consistently, and Sindh is leading provinces in achieving our family planning 2030 goals. Sindh's contraceptive prevalence rate has gone from 31% to 41.8%, and that is a direct result of our family planning interventions. Along with family planning, I'd mentioned the sort of crux of our philosophy being about affordability. So we provide free of cost healthcare, because one of the most expensive challenges that any family can face can be the cost of healthcare. It can rip families out of the middle classes and into poverty, and also there are those who are completely out of reach. Similarly, we've tried to expand our network of public education facilities to ensure that our citizens get free of cost education, whether it's their universities, whether it's their primary school. Talked about population welfare. Along with that, the Pakistan People's Party is very proud that we'd introduced at the national level, at the federal level, the Benazir Income Support Program, which is the first and only social safety net that exists in Pakistan, and meets all international standards. Simultaneously, at the provincial level, we've had various different interventions, and I'm just going to talk about one today, for poverty alleviation. And that's our Sindh. Do you want to do it? Yeah. Sindh Rural Support Organization, through which we've provided interest-free loans and other supports, particularly to the women of Sindh. And as a result of this program, we've managed to lift so far 1.4 million women out of poverty. And the thing that I'm sort of proudest about this program is usually when we want to start an initiative, we go to either our international partners or local partners and we make a pitch that this is what we want to do, come partner for us, come give us financing. In the case of this SRSO, which became the People's Poverty Reduction Program, this was the one initiative where we'd started on our own in the province of Sindh, and it went so well that the European Union approached us that they would like to join us in financing this initiative, which allowed us to then expand it through international partners and our own local support. So as I mentioned, we provide interest-free loans. We've got interest-free loans for women to start their own businesses at different scales. So there's an average scale for if they want to start, to provide them support in the form of the loans, in these loans to start those businesses. Then there's sort of higher end, we provide a little bit more support through an enterprise development fund for more upscale businesses that they want to start. And it is primarily through that we managed to lift these women out of poverty, but we've also included support for vocational training and low-cost housing and a whole host of other interventions. But just the point that I want to highlight as a result of this, even sort of the commercial people and business people present here today will know that the recovery rate of our loans from our commercial banks for some of our top strata within Pakistan society is nowhere near the recovery rate that I mentioned over here. For our 5.8 billion that became 9.8 billion rupees of investment in interest-free loans for for these women, our recovery rate is 98%. So what that means is not only does it speak to this program's success, it also speaks to these women's success. And we're really very proud of that. I mentioned the flooding, the consequences that had in 2022 for our education infrastructure. To put it into perspective, the scale of this flooding and how devastating it was, particularly for the province of Sindh, is that 70% of Sindh was submerged in water. 24 of our 30 districts were declared calamity hit, and 2.1 million houses were destroyed. And you can imagine the devastation that this caused to those communities that we witnessed firsthand. I happened to be the Foreign Minister of Pakistan at the time, and I'm very grateful to the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and the federal government who all rallied together. I'm very grateful to our friends in the diplomatic corps for their support and for the Sindh government's efforts that allowed us to launch the world's largest housing initiative. Before us, I'm going to say the wrong name, so I'm not going to say the country, but now we currently, the world's largest housing initiative to rebuild these 2.1 million homes. The project beneficiaries are more than the population of 154 countries. Not only are we rebuilding their homes, we're rebuilding climate resilient homes. So the next time it rains and the next time it floods, these communities are not devastated. And it's an investment in the future, because every time such a devastation of this, we face such devastation at this scale, it drains provincial resources, federal resources. So we're building 2.1 million climate resilient homes. At the moment, we have 1.5 million homes that are under construction still. 750,000 homes have been completed. And the beauty of this initiative is that it's not just climate resilient housing initiative, it's also a women's empowerment initiative. Because while building homes for these women who could never, or these families who would never envision having a solid house over their head, we also, because 90% of these people were living on government land in makeshift houses. So we also have transferred the land titles for these homes in the names of the women of the households. And that is the largest asset transfer initiative in a generation. As a result of this, we hand over these houses to these women, they now have an asset. They have security. These families know that they can't be removed from their homes. The value of these properties, as soon as we hand over the land titles, drastically increase. And for generation after generation, these properties will continue to increase and be passed on to future generations. But it also provides them with an asset that, if they would like, they can use to take out a loan, to do. So it's overall, it's not only sort of housing reconstruction, it's poverty alleviations, it's women's empowerment. We opened bank accounts for all these women. 2 million bank accounts have been opened for women who would never have seen. A million jobs in the province of Sindh just through the People's Housing Initiative. And our partners, some of them are in the room today, like the World Bank, international financial institutions, the federal government, the Sindh government, have all come together, and we managed to secure funding of $2 billion in less than 2 years for this initiative. Ooh. This is Hina from Thatta, where she used to live with her family and her brand new house. Dildal Ari from Tangobago and his family, their kacha house, their pakka house. Lalo Mal from Nara, his kacha house, him and his 2 daughters in his new house. Muhammad Khan from Jacobabad, him and his family, how they used to live, they live today.
घर का खर्चा, बच्चों का, अपना सारा कुछ सही चलता था। बारिश के बाद तो वो बिल्कुल खत्म हो गया। हम इधर ही रहते थे, हमारे कच्चे घर होते थे, बारिश में वो सारे गिर गए। जब बारिश आया था तो हर तरफ तबाही थी। फिर जो बीमार हुआ, फाके में बैठे, बेशियाँ मर गई, लोग जख्मी हो गए। ये तो बड़ा अच्छा हुआ कि सिंध गवर्नमेंट ने हमारा सपोर्ट किया है। ये व्यापार के और ये खेती बाड़ी के अलावा क्योंकि हमारा कोई रोजगार तो है नहीं। अब हमें ये था कि अभी बच्चों का करें, घर का करें या किसी कारोबार का करें, लेकिन बड़ी मुश्किल हालात में वक्त गुजरी है। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ सिंध की तरफ से जो टीम आई थी, वो आगे घर घर पे सर्वे कर रहे थे। पहले घर हमारे कच्चे थे, अभी ये माशाल्लाह पक्का घर बन गया, तो हमारा भी शौक है कि घर को संवार दें। ये पसंद है हमें, जब वो बोलते कि दरख्त लगाएं, तो ये जो बड़े होते हैं तो इसके हम खुद भी बैठते हैं और मवेशी वगैरह भी। और गाँव वालों को भी कहता हूँ कि हर घर के सामने ये होनी चाहिए, तो हम लगा देते हैं इसलिए। घर माशाल्लाह भी हमारा बड़ा फर्स्ट क्लास बन गया। ये है कि हमारे बच्चों का मुस्तकबिल बन जाए, यही उम्मीद है इंशाअल्लाह।
Education system, housing infrastructure, regular infrastructure obviously devastated. Again, on the topic of agriculture, I want to look at it specifically in light of the 2022 floods. The major source of income for the people of our province was drastically affected. As an emergency measure at the time, the Sindh government decided to support our farmers by providing them wheat seeds. on an emergency basis, we reached out to 215,000 people in our province at the time, provided them this support, and as a result of this intervention, the following year we had the highest ever wheat production of 4.5 million tons in the province of Sindh. But we built on that experience. We used that data, and we started the Benazir Hari card, or the Benazir Farmer card, with the thought that in the future, when we face a natural disaster, we want a transparent mechanism where we can get financial support directly into the hands of the farmers. These 200,000 people that we'd given the wheat seed became the first people to subsequently join our Benazir Hari card. And the concept behind this initiative was not only support in times of emergencies, but the government of Sindh, and even the federal government, but they're not associated with this yet, provides a lot of support to our farming communities. But it's not targeted, it's not transparent, and that's the direction that we'd like to move in the future. So this Benazir Hari card was a result of the 2022 floods. And recently, because we had this infrastructure in place, when last year Pakistan faced floods, we've had an even more expansive intervention from the government of Sindh through the Benazir Hari card, but also through CNIC and other identification mechanisms. For small farmers of from 1 to 25 acres, we provided cash support for them to buy DAP and urea. Targeted, transparent support to those at the bottom of the pyramid who need it most, while simultaneously supporting Sindh's agriculture economy. We have agricultural modernization mechanisms in place where we support our farmers with laser leveling and other such facilities. And going forward, we want to take this to, and going forward, we want to take that to the next level. We're going to encourage both collective farming and public-private partnership in the agriculture sector in the province of Sindh. Collective farming, because 90% of land holdings in Sindh are with the small farmer. And what we want to do is create incentives from the provincial government for these small farmers to form collectives. And when they form collectives, they'll obviously collectively have more arable land, but it also gives them collective bargaining power. And they could then benefit from some of the benefits that bigger, richer, large landowning families or businesses enjoy when it comes to procurement and other things. We want to support these collectives through the Sindh government with modernization, with modern machinery, with laser leveling, with scientific knowledge, with research, and our support, our interventions, our subsidies will be targeted to these small farmers. Then, for public-private partnership, we want to encourage the private sector to come and invest in large-scale farming in the province of Sindh in two ways. One, the Sindh government wants to be a bridge between these collectives and big business, whether it's within Pakistan or outside in Pakistan, where we create a partnership with these collectives in the business community, and they come in with their investment and partner with small farmers and create collective corporate farming in the PPP mode. Separately, the government of Sindh also has a lot of arable land that's not used, whether it's in forest area, whether it's in agriculture department, whether it's irrigation department. We also want to partner with the private sector in those cases and use public-private partnership to bring in large-scale, high value-added farming to take our Sindh agriculture to the next level. So no agriculture without irrigation. And our irrigation system in Pakistan is the largest in the world. And within Pakistan, the largest irrigation system within Pakistan is run in the province of Sindh. On top of that, our government has had a whole host of interventions, because as you're aware, either we face these cataclysmic floods, or most of the time we're facing drought and water scarcity, and that problem is continuing to increase. So we've set up more than 200 small dams across the province for rainwater storage and agriculture support. More impressive than that, we've managed to line 4,110 kilometers of Sindh's irrigation network in our canal system, which results in water preservation and it helps us address both climate change and water scarcity. As far as Sindh's infrastructure is concerned, so along with our irrigation system, we get a lot of criticism on our communication infrastructure. So I want to use this opportunity to clarify that there are two forms of this infrastructure in our province. The majority, say our national highways, are run by the federal government and the communications department. And that has and does, both from us and from others, receive a lot of criticisms, and we're really appreciative of the current government, the Prime Minister, for their commitment that the Sakhar onwards portion of our national motorway will be built. But that doesn't mean that the Sindh government doesn't build roads, it's just we can't build the federal government roads. We manage 57,000 kilometers of road networks in Sindh, of which 24,000 kilometers are either brand new or rehabilitated. I've included a whole host of pictures here, but the one I'm just going to point out to you, which is our latest initiative, Bilawal Bhutto in Karachi, which is a public-private partnership model, and we have a lot of our partners with us here today that's working on our communication infrastructure, roads, bridges. Since 1947 until 2008, there were 5 bridges built on the River Indus. And from 2008 up until today, we've managed to build 4 new bridges on the River Indus. This includes the largest bridge on the River Indus, which is our Chirk Mulakatiyar bridge in public-private partnership, and it's not here, but we're constructing our 5th bridge on the River Indus, which is our Kankot Ghotki bridge that is still under construction and hopefully be finished before 2028. What's infrastructure without transport? Well, in 2008, when the Pakistan People's Party government took over, the Sindh government had no public transport, no integrated public transport. And now, we have more than 200,000 passengers that commute daily through our integrated mass transit system. We were the first province to introduce electric vehicle buses in Pakistan. We were the first province to introduce the pink bus service in Pakistan, which is exclusively for women passengers with women drivers to provide a safe environment for women. And we also want to particularly encourage female mobility. So it's not just our pink bus service. The Transport Minister who introduced this for us today has also started a pink scooty service. And we'll continue. Still got a long way to go as far as public transport is concerned, and we continue to expanding this infrastructure, hopefully, in the time to come. Solid waste management, again an area of criticism, and naturally as the most populated city, we have the most waste in the country. But yet again, before the Pakistan People's Party government, there was no solid waste management system in the province of Sindh. We've managed to set up the Sindh solid waste management system that started in the city of Karachi and its 10 districts, and then expanded to Hyderabad, Mirpur Khas, Sakhar, Shahid Benazirabad, and now even my own constituency of Larkana has its own solid waste management facility. Our solid waste management board and their contractors collect over 14,500 tons of waste per day, and there's still a lot more to do. Along with agriculture, another area where we've had the most progressive intervention of all provinces is again in the Labour Department in Sindh. We have this social security support from the federal government, from the provincial government. There's a devolution debate around that already applied to our public sector workers. What we've done in the province of Sindh is introduce the Benazir Mazdoor card, which is the labor card, and opened up our social security net to the private sector and to the self-employed, who can now pay in themselves and join our Benazir Mazdoor card program and receive all the support that public sector workers receive in sort of times of death, times of marriage, healthcare emergencies, and this is a process that we hope to continue to encourage and expand. We're also proud of the fact that we're the only province to raise minimum wage 6 times in a row, and we've cut child labor by 50% in the province of Sindh. So when we took over the official statistics, it was that we were at 20.6%. We've managed to bring it down to 10.3%. Labor rights legislation right now. Amongst the labor rights legislation, 16 laws, 18 rules, etc. The main thing I want to, one additional thing I want to mention is that we not only acknowledge agricultural workers as part of the workforce, we were the first to pass the Female Agricultural Workers Act back in our last provincial government, and the first ones to acknowledge women's contribution, which is the largest in our agriculture sector. Energy is a big area for the province of Sindh. We were the first to add megawatts to the national grid, first through renewable energy, wind energy. We have a 50,000 megawatt wind energy corridor. Acting President Yusuf Raza Gilani, when he was the Prime Minister of Pakistan, was the first to inaugurate our wind energy project in the province of Sindh, and so far we have 1,845 megawatts of wind power that we add, and 150 megawatts of solar power. We have another 1,875 megawatts of wind power in the pipeline, and another 1,150 megawatts of solar power in the pipeline. We're really leaning in to green energy and alternative energy within our province, particularly because the energy infrastructure is so unreliable, it's so expensive. There are areas in the province of Sindh that still face 16 to 18 hours load shedding, so we're trying to encourage in every way we can less reliance on traditional energy infrastructure and a move towards solar energy. We've had a big push for the solarization of public buildings. In partnership with the World Bank, we've also been targeting Benazir income support beneficiaries to provide them with solar systems. So far, we've distributed 200,000, and we're looking going forward to distribute 275,000 more to the families of the most needy. We also intend to target consumers of less than 100 units of electricity, and we want to provide them with solar facilities. In addition to that, we have 3 public-private partnership solar infrastructure projects in the works right now through which we want to provide Karachi with an additional 400 megawatts of solar power at low cost. I'm going to go on to talk about Tharkol, which is another big initiative as far as the Energy Department is concerned. But even within the context of Tharkol going forward, we want to look into using Tharkol for the development of fertilizer. So our country's over-reliance on gas for fertilizer can hopefully be addressed through this. Where's my energy gone? I definitely have another energy thing to talk to you about. It comes there. We also have Tharkol, which I'll talk to you about later, but in between we're talking about progressive legislation and how we, Sindh leads the way in progressive legislation. There's a whole list. I just wanted to run through a few of our, we were the first and proud to be the first to pass the Sindh Child Marriage Restraint Act, banning child marriage in the province of Sindh and raising the age to 18 in 2013. The Sindh Prohibition of Employment of Child Labor Act, I already mentioned the results of that. Our Domestic Violence Protection Act in 2013. Our Sindh Hindu Marriages Amendment Act in 2018. And the Sindh Commission for the Status of Women. Two of not only our most sort of two sectors that we're very much proud of are special economic zones and our public-private partnerships, but also the two areas with the biggest potential to unlock, the most potential for both foreign and domestic partners to join with the Sindh government and expand what we managed to achieve.
In 2008, the Public-Private Partnership Unit was institutionalized by the government of Sindh. Our private partners have collectively invested nearly $2.076 billion US, while $780 million US invested by government of Sindh. Sindh PPP institutional strength has not gone unnoticed. Each project reflects one commitment: partnerships built on trust, delivering lasting impact for Sindh. Partnering for progress, delivering impact.
So obviously you can't conduct any of these projects without your own revenue generation, which requires economic activity in the form of our SEZs and the PPPs that I'm just going to talk about, and revenue generation through our Sindh Revenue Board. Our special economic zones in the province of Sindh, we've got Khairpur Special Economic Zone, we've got Larkana Special Economic Zone, Dhabaji Special Economic Zone, and Marble City Special Economic Zone, which is the first public. Dhabaji was the first, and they're also a public-private partnership special economic zones, where not only from at the provincial level, but also the federal level, for the time being, we enjoy special incentives for business and industries to set up. At the feasibility stage, we have our Sakhar Industrial Zone, our Hyderabad Industrial Zone, and our Aquaculture Park. Our special economic zones have received international recognition. This is from the Financial Times. They had a magazine that did the FDI intelligence report for Global Free Zones of the Year 2025. And the best industrial zone, both globally and regionally, were highlighted, chosen, and then they had like a runner-up everywhere. So as you can see, the global industrial zone of the year winner was ZPE zone, and the highly commended or the runner-up global economic zone is Jebel Ali Free Zone. For the Middle East, the winner is Jebel Ali Free Zone, etc. For the Asia-Pacific region, the winner of the FDI Global Free Zone of the year 2025 was the Freeport area in Bataan. But the runner-up, or the highly commended special economic zone, is the Khairpur Special Economic Zone. And these are our Khairpur Economic Zone, which is probably nearly saturated now. But our Larkana Industrial Zone has infrastructure, has space. Our Dhabaji Economic Zone, which is right next to Karachi, our first public-private partnership economic zone still needs more infrastructure, has a lot of space, and similarly our Marble City that's coming up and the rest that are in our feasibility stages provide the perfect environment for the business community across the country, for the international community, and the business community internationally to come invest, enjoy tax and other benefits from both the provincial and federal government, and do so in economic zones with international recognition. Similarly, Sindh experience in public-private partnership. This now is something that was born out of necessity. As you're aware, mostly, not recently, but mostly, the Sindh Pakistan People's Party's government has been in opposition to the federal government. In 2013, we were in opposition at the national level, but in government in the province of Sindh. In 2018, we were in opposition at the national level, and we were in government in the province of Sindh. And all our media friends over here will be well aware that we'd have a consistent complaint about the receipts or the provincial funding for the province of Sindh, and sort of the lack of support that we were receiving from the federal government in the form of PSDP projects. We had the least out of any other province, and as a result, and our specific sort of federal transfers. But we didn't just sort of sit back and accept our fate, or I didn't just complain about it. What the Pakistan People's Party did was heavily lean into and leverage public-private partnership within our province. The public-private partnership concept was introduced in Pakistan through Shaheed Mohtarama Benazir Bhutto's 92-93 election manifesto. And in 2008, when the PPP government was formed, we set up our PPP unit in the province of Sindh. Probably the most famous and large-scale PPP project in the province of Sindh is our Sindh Angro coal mining company, which was the first open pit mining, and it was conducted through public-private partnership. And this has really opened the doors for an economic revolution in the province of Thar. Because the Sindh government was partners with the private sector, both internationally and locally, for the coal mining, and we had this energy generation also as a result of the coal mining. We've turned around the infrastructure, both roads and health, education. The desert has completely changed as a result of these interventions. The big-scale Sindh Angro coal mining project, which has a project cost of $1 billion and is a joint venture between the GOS, local and international partners. Jobs I'm going to come on to. We were the first government to set up, first provincial government to make an airport, the Mai Bakhtaur Airport in Thar. A resettlement of communities that were affected by the pit mining in model villages. Road infrastructure in Thar has improved to the extent that in 2008, or before 2008, from Karachi to Thar, the drive used to be 8 hours. Today, the drive from Karachi to Thar, depending on how fast you drive, is 4 to 3 hours. A percentage of our profit of this public-private partnership company goes into the Thar Foundation. And the Thar Foundation then helps in our community uplift initiatives, one of which is our Thar Foundation Hospital that has been established in the district of Thar, and the Thar Foundation Hospital is run by Dr. Bari's Indus Foundation in public-private partnership. Just yesterday I came from our NED University inauguration. We're inaugurating our campus for a new building for our campus of the NED University. We set up RO plants infrastructures that still needs a lot of work to address the water scarcity issues over there. Just Thar Coal Block 1 has created 5 Block 2, has created 3,000, it says here, but I had 5,000 in my head, 3,000 jobs locally. The more important part is those jobs, 71% of the jobs as a result of this public-private partnership are directly Thari local jobs. An additional 10% above that are jobs from the province of Sindh. Then we have like close to 5%, which is rest of Pakistan, and then even less, which is our international sort of jobs as a result. We've had, as a result of this PPP initiative, we have female truck drivers in Thar for the first time. So all our trucks that are driven by local women. We had the first female engineer come out of Thar and then be employed at this PPP initiative. So Thar is sort of the cornerstone of Sindh's public-private partnership, but it's not the only thing we do. We have our water supply project of $200 million, which is a PPP mode, which is in partnership with Energy Tech from Kuwait. As a result of that initiative, we're now working on our NED technology part, again in partnership with the government of Kuwait. And we have a whole host of partners that are working with the Sindh government, locally and internationally, in public-private partnership. Sorry. These are some of our public-private partnership initiatives. Our Hyderabad-Mirpur Khas dual carriageway is completely public-private partnership. I mentioned the largest bridge on the River Indus, the Sir Aga Khan Jirk Mulakatiyar bridge project, our Karachi-Thatta dual carriageway, public-private partnership, water infrastructure, I've already mentioned public-private partnership. Roads infrastructure we've also had as a result of public-private partnership, but it doesn't stop there. Education management, I've already mentioned. Management of many schools we've handed over in public-private partnership for primary education. Again, the same Shehzad Roy helps us with teacher training initiatives in public-private partnership that has increased the standards of our teachers, who are now tested and regularly tested to ensure that they meet the necessary standards. We've also rehabilitated 54 JICA girls elementary schools as a result in public-private partnership, and our regional bud centers are also public-private partnership initiatives. Our public-private partnership program in the province of Sindh is recognized globally. In 2018, the Economist magazine's intelligence unit rated Sindh province as number 6 for public-private partnership, after Thailand, Philippines, PCR, India, Gujarat, then the province of Sindh for our PPP mode. And most recently, we've had these IFN Deal of the Year 2021, and that's all 2021 for public-private partnership. Major projects that are now under construction in PPP mode, I mentioned our Bilawal Bhutto, Concorde, the 5th bridge that we're now building on the River Indus, the Ghotki Concorde Bridge is public-private partnership, Marble City project, public-private partnership, Dhabaji I already mentioned, NED I already mentioned, okay, I'm mentioning things twice now. Major projects that are at the feasibility stage for PPP mode are before you, our Yellow Line, our Sakhar and Hyderabad Industrial Zone, our sewage treatment plant for Karachi, our aquaculture park project, there's a livestock project, there's more water sector projects in Sakhar, all in our feasibility stage for public-private partnership. Through public-private partnership, not only have we produced the first electricity through the Tharparkar, done our infrastructure, done our schools, done our healthcare, we've even reclaimed the mangroves. So we had incredible mangrove loss across the Indus Delta, which has devastating consequences for local agriculture, local communities, climate, etc. And through public-private partnership, we've increased our covered area from 270,000 mangroves to now 270,000 acres, sorry, to now 675,000 acres of mangrove covers. 2 Guinness Book of World Records for this mangrove initiative for the largest number of mangroves planted in a day. So we first won in 2000 and I forget the dates now. So we first won one Guinness Book of World Record for the largest number of mangroves planted in a day. Then India won, so we couldn't let that stand, and we went and did it again. So that's why we have two Guinness Book of World Records. And we've earned $40 million as a result of carbon credits from planting mangroves. So in our PPP mode, our portfolio so far, we've executed about $600 million worth of projects in road, energy, healthcare sectors. Our projects under construction is another $650 million. But the main figure that I want to point to here is our investable portfolio, our investable project portfolio for the province of Sindh is $5.2 billion, and we're very keen to work with the international community and a local business community, just as we realized all these other public-private partnership initiatives to bring these other projects into, to realize all these other projects. And I'd like to use this opportunity today to invite you all to come take advantage of our special economic zones, of our experience in public-private partnership to benefit within the province of Sindh. And even our advice to the federal government would be that if you want to cut down on the PSDP, you want to cut down on public spending, a large segment of the federal PSDP should be shifted to public-private partnership, where you can partner with the private, with the business community within Pakistan, you can partner with the international community to address your fiscal space issues without burdening others. Final point, and I swear I'm going to feed you something. Sindh Revenue Board. Sounds dull, but it's very important. Because how are we going to provide free healthcare, free education, improve our infrastructure at all the facilities that I showed you today without the funding? Key is revenue. The Sindh government set up the Sindh Revenue Board, I believe, in 2012. As a result of the 18th Amendment, the sales tax on services were devolved to the provinces, and we set up the Sindh Revenue Board to help collect this tax. The last time this tax was with the federal government was in 2011, and they collected 16 billion rupees in 2010. That's from the province of Sindh. The sales tax on services that the FBR collected the last time they had this responsibility. In 2011, within 1 year, the government of Sindh Revenue Board collected 28 billion rupees, which was a 68% increase from the federal government's collection. And today, 2024, the Sindh government's Sindh Revenue Board has collected 307 billion rupees in sales tax on services. The federal government's FBR's growth rate every year is 10%. Our SBR's growth rate is an average of 19%. It's economic competence. Without self-sufficiency, we can't promise to provide any of the support that I discussed in the lead up to this slide. And this is exactly our case to the federal government. That if we're collecting 19% and you're collecting 10%, then how can you punish the guys who are actually doing their jobs? We offer, as an obviously if the federal government is facing issues of fiscal space, economic challenges, as a patriotic Pakistani, the problems of Islamabad are my problems as well. I want to help them address these issues. But their solution, cutting the NFC share, taking back from the provinces, doesn't solve the problem. Because it's the FBR's lack of meeting their targets that's causing this fiscal deficit, not the performance of provincial government. And we have a solution. I've shown you that when you devolved the sales tax on services, Sindh government's SPR outperforms all the provinces and the federal government. But the FBR is outperformed by the Punjab Revenue Board, by the Pakhtunkhwa Revenue Board, and the Balochistan Revenue Board. So why should Balochistan, Sindh, or Punjab, or KPK suffer if Islamabad can't do its job? Our proposal is that the federal government still collects the sales tax on goods, and not according to my reports. According to independent observers, there's 3 trillion rupees more that they could collect in the sale tax on goods today from across Pakistan that they're not collecting. So our solution to the federal government's challenges with fiscal space that we want to solve is that don't devolve the tax to us, but devolve the collection of the tax to us. We will collect this tax for the federal government. They can set us the targets. Like their last collection for sales tax on services was 16, so whatever their last collection from Karachi today is, set that as a target for the Sindh government. Whatever their last collection for the sales tax on goods for the city of Lahore is, set that as a target for the Punjab government. And we will collect these taxes for you. We will collect higher taxes for you and give it to you so you can meet your fiscal needs, address your fiscal gap. If we fail, I mean, this is the level we're going to. If we fail to meet your targets, then punish me. Then deduct from my provincial pool to make up for the gap in the tax that I failed to collect for you. But the catch is that if I do better and I or any other province collects more in the form of sales tax on goods than your federally assigned target, then the extra money should go as an incentive to those provincial governments so they're further encouraged to increase their revenue generation, fund our own projects, and meet the needs of our citizens. I thank you all very much today for putting up with my very detailed conversation, and I hope that I've managed to convince, or at least put across a case for you today, that the province of Sindh is a half glass full, not a half glass empty. And we would like to work with everyone in this room today and the federal government to achieve not only our goals, but also address the challenges faced by the federal government and the people of Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please join us for lunch.
चेयरमैन पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी सिंध हुकूमत की कारकर्दगी और आइंदा के विजन के हवाले से ब्रीफ कर रहे थे। बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी की जानिब से कहा गया कि सिंध भर में NICVD तर्ज के 11 अस्पताल कायम किए गए हैं। सिंध हुकूमत ने जिन अस्पताल को आलमी मयार का बनाया, सिंध में कैंसर का महंगा तरीन इलाज मुफ्त मुहैया किया गया, सिंध में आलमी मयार की सेहत सहूलियात मुफ्त दी जा रही हैं। बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी की जानिब से मज़ीद कहा गया कि सिंध में सेहत के निज़ाम को मजबूत बनाने के लिए इकदाम किए गए हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि सेहत के शोबे की बेहतरी पर खुसूसी तवज्जो मरकूज़ की गई है। सिंध में हुकूमत मिली तो कई चैलेंजेस का सामना था। सिंध हुकूमत हर शोबे में बेहतरी के लिए काम कर रही है। पीपल्स पार्टी सिंध में भारी अवामी अक्सरियत से इक़्तिदार में आई। बिलावल भुट्टो ने कहा कि सिंध हुकूमत हर शोबे में बेहतरी के लिए काम कर रही है। सेहत के शोबे पर खुसूसी तौर पर तवज्जो मरकूज़ की गई है। उन्होंने बताया कि गम्बट के अस्पताल में इलाज के लिए मरीज़ अफगानिस्तान से भी आते हैं।
Light refreshing, Kershi Jolly Shiri.
Introducing Piper's Gold, thoughtfully yours.
न्यू एंड इम्प्रूव सेंसोडाइन रैपिड एक्शन 60 सेकंड्स में सेंसिटिविटी से आराम देता है। मैं रेकमेंड करती हूँ सेंसोडाइन रैपिड एक्शन बिकॉज इट वर्क्स।
एक माँ ही बनाती है बेटी को मजबूत। नया लाइफ बॉय शैम्पू एलोवेरा और मिल्क प्रोटीन फॉर्मूला के साथ बालों को बनाए मजबूत। लाइफ बॉय शैम्पू, मजबूत सोच मजबूत तुम।
अहमद बेटा चलो उठ जाओ।
मम्मा
हाँ
रात में